Whoa, crash, and a big crash in the peloton. This is a big move here. Jonathan Milan against Fretin.
On to stage 2 of the AlUla Tour. Jonathan Milan roared to victory yesterday after some crosswind chaos that is typical of this race. And the Italian is keen to double up today, even if there is more wind on the menu.
Today we have other chance, other opportunities, but also we have to be careful for the crosswinds. Yeah, we'll be pretty similar sides than yesterday, but yeah, we are focused on it, we are ready, and can wait for it.
Milan Fretin finished second yesterday after fine work from Cofidis and his lead-out man Hugo Page. The Belgian is now hoping to go one better.
Is Milan beatable in this headwind finish?
Yeah, of course, every sprint is different, but like a finish like yesterday, when he can do a free sprint, I think there's not many guys who can beat him at the moment. So we really have to take him on, maybe when he make a mistake. Of course, it always can happen in the sprint, so we keep going, we keep trying, and today is a new chance.
Stage 2 starts and ends at the AlManshiyah Train Station. 152 kilometres with no climbs on the menu, but a westerly wind that could cause splits, especially when the peloton are riding south back towards the finish. They will also get an opportunity to see some of the region's iconic sights today, Hegra and Elephant Rock. So, is it going to be another sprint, or will the weather gods decide otherwise? Well, 5 riders made today's breakaway, including 3 of those who got into it yesterday. But like yesterday, they were being swept up just as the live pictures began. The racing full gas once again as the riders dipped in and out of the crosswinds. Well, Lidl Trek making sure they had the race leader, Jonathan Milan, safely up at the front. And after all of his problems yesterday, Jan Christen of UAE was in there as well. But the man in the orange jersey, Mark Donovan, had been caught out. The British rider spoke this morning about his hopes of getting a decent GC result, but this was far from an ideal situation. The chase was on then, but several teams at the front were keen to keep the pace high. Bahrain Victorious, for example, working on behalf of their sprinter Phil Bauhaus. The Donovan group gradually closing in, but the leaders kicked on again, with Bahrain Victorious and UAE really putting the hammer down and growing the gap to around 45 seconds in the swirling sands.
It's a sandstorm in AlUla, and the riders are battling for survival.
Well, things did eventually begin to settle down as the riders went past the UNESCO World Heritage Site of Hegra, and finally, with 40 kilometres to go, the chasers caught up again.
End of breakaway at kilometre 111.
A change of race situation shortly afterwards, with Stefan de Bod and Matthias Breinhoy going on the attack. Now, these two were teammates last year, but de Bod left Terengganu over the winter to join Modern Adventure Pro Cycling, a brand new American team founded by former pro George Hincapie and his brother Richard, and taking part in their very first race this week. Well, the duo weren't given much rub by the sprint teams. They were brought back before the second intermediate active sprint. There wasn't much to report at that particular sprint, but with just over 10 kilometres to go, there was a bonus sprint, and Jan Christen pounced to take 3 bonus seconds ahead of his teammate Kevin Vermaker. Milan and the rest of the fast men getting ready for a proper bunch sprint, but there was still time for a bit of late drama. A puncture for Bauhaus with around 6k to go, and then Fabio Jakobsen pulling up with cramp. So 2 sprinters down, but still plenty of contenders. Could anyone stop Milan and Lidl Trek, making it 2 from 2?
Big U-turn, got to come out in the first 10. Managing to do that. Milan is there. 1 kilometre of racing to go. He goes straight down and then a right-hander into the finish line. And we see now Lidl Trek right on the front. I've heard there's a crash of Riley Pickerel of the team of Modern Adventure, who's touched a wheel or something. 740 metres of racing to go. It's the team of Lidl Trek still with Milan. Moschetti's getting ready to pounce. Frettin is there in the white jersey. 500 metres of racing to go now on stage 2 of the AlUla Tour. Simone Consoni has his Olympic compatriot locked in and ready, and they're gonna fire now for the finish line. Big move of Moschetti. Milan Frettin is still there, and here goes Johnny Milan looking for 2 wins out of 2. Real powerful finish. No one's going to get anywhere close. It's 2 from 2 for Johnny Milan.
A textbook lead out from Simone Consoni, a textbook sprint from Jonathan Milan. The Italian connection working wonders as Lidl Trek made it 2 wins from 2. Milan really is a cut above the rest of the sprint field here in AlUla, win number 27 of his career, and he extends his race lead to 14 seconds.
I think it was our dream scenario. I mean, I'm really happy for how we did it, for how we controlled the race, for how we moved in the echelons. Yeah, with this team is coming almost everything quite easy, I would say. No, and in the end, I was a perfect lead out, and then I had just to sprint to do my best.
Milan taking it ahead of another Italian, Daniel Skirl, who sprinted for Bahrain victorious in the absence of Bauhaus. In fact, Italians locked out 4 of the top 5, with Ackermann third, ahead of Moschetti and Malucelli. Milan will spend a second day in the leader's green jersey then. The Lidl Trek man is 14 seconds clear of Fretta and 16 clear of Moschetti. Still lots of sprinters in the top 10, but that is set to change tomorrow. Milan doubling his points tally to 30. He's 14 ahead of Moschetti and will no doubt recover the red jersey when he loses green on stage 3. Donovan of Pinarello Q36.5 remains the most active rider. He is level on points with Lidl Trek's Jakob Soderqvist. And Frettin remains the race's best young rider, 10 seconds ahead of his Cofidis teammate Edoardo Zamparini. Tomorrow it's time for the GC contenders to take centre stage as we head for a summit finish on Bir Jida Mountain. Join us for that on Thursday, and thanks for watching.